another episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Well, hello, broads. Yeehaw, broads. Becca is rocking the
Good
cow.
morning and yeehaw, bitches.
Howdy.
Howdy.
You look like you're ready for some mud wrestling, babe.
Fuck yeah, if I can get in there with Jake Gyllenhaal and
Heath
Ledger.
Yeah, that was...
I am down to be the third pig in the mud.
I mean, same.
Ew, that sounds like
I don't know what
that was. Innuendo. But guys, we have a guest today, which is probably good because second episode of the season is usually really anticlimactic.
It's always a little bit
I'm
of
not gonna lie. This episode was
There
for
were
me, no
yeah.
exception.
There were a few moments that caught my attention in this, but
It's
in
always
general,
the last 15 minutes and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is drama with guys we don't know and don't care about.
you're not quite
and yada,
invested.
yada.
But broads, I think this might be our first ever guest for like a full recap. And of course, we couldn't bring someone else on besides Mikayla Bartholomew. You know her, you love her, and
And if you don't know her or love her, you
Yes.
can
Y'all better
know
find
her.
out. No, I'm joking. Wait,
Well,
no.
we haven't talked to you actually for almost almost been a year.
Yeah.
It's actually been like 9 or 10 months.
It's been that. Yes, it has.
So-
Because we haven't been filming for over 6 months now. So,
Wow.
yeah.
yeah.
And-
So maybe for the people who aren't familiar, if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, y'all. My name is Mikayla Bartholomew, or you can call me Mai. I am an actor, and that is what my taxes say, and that's what the government takes out of my taxes. But I also work in advocacy as an activist, and I am the host or co-host of the Blckchelorettes podcast with Vic and Mai, which we started on accident, and now we're in it.
I'm so excited.
Now you're in it,
We're
and now
in
you're,
it, and we're
now
in
you're
deep.
trapped.
You
We're
all have
deep.
the official Patreon that just launched.
We did.
We'll put that in the episode notes, broads, but very exciting.
Man, I'm excited to be here with y'all in person.
I know.
It's a different energy, even though you're like 10 feet away.
10 feet away, but it's okay because like we're still here. You know what I mean?
We got the energy in the
Exactly.
same room.
Yeah.
No more Zoom business.
No more Zoom. Me like pent up in a corner. I don't know what I was sitting on, but it was in whatever apartment they were putting me up in for filming. And like I had brought in my patio table from outside. Oh, I was sitting in my patio chair that was from my balcony with my patio table against like my balcony wall so I could have some natural light.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, Zoom rooms, you got to make yourself look good.
Oh,
true.
the ring lights, they were everything with the Zoom times. When you'd hop into a conference call with Zoom and you happened to have your ring light and no one else did, you just felt so good.
Like
It's
that
just
bitch.
like,
And you remember to like clean off your camera before you
Yes.
turned your camera. I have this rule. Well, it's not my rule. But the people I work with at the Broadway Advocacy Coalition, we have this rule where we don't turn our cameras on until we're ready. Like,
Okay.
girl, this meeting will start, and I may or may not have my camera on. That's fine. And every now and then you'll turn your camera on and people will be like, God dang, your skin is clear, you're glowing, you look fantastic. And it's like, girl, because I hit it with that Windex.
I took a quick little towel, a little bit of Windex.
Just a little scrub.
Magic can happen.
I don't know if that's good for MacBook Pros, so.
I mean, honestly, who knows? I feel like I spray mine down with Lord knows what all the time. And Evan's just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. It's
Breaking down the
dirty.
camera immediately.
Yeah, I don't think I've cleaned my MacBook Pro in like 3 years, probably.
Respect.
You know.
But Mai, I have to ask you before we start diving into the episode, what are your initial thoughts on Katie as the Bachelorette?
Interesting.
Also for the Blckchelorette, that is so hard for me to say.
It is. It's hard for us to say.
The Blckchelorette.
So like this is how we do it, right? The Blckchelorettes. So
Blckchelorettes. That's
Blckchelorettes. Right?
Blckchelorette.
No, you said it.
Blckchelorettes.
Yeah, there you go.
That actually
you gotta
really
hit that
helps.
K before that C.
And you got to add in the EL. Really emphasize
Just
it.
hit it hard,
Blckchelorettes.
you know, because there's another podcast. Shout out to the Bachelorette. which is just Blacche.
Bachelorette.
But ours is Blckchelorettes. The premise is similar. Like, we're black. That's the T.
Got it.
But ours is like that hard K before that CH.
Bachelorette.
We mispronounce it every episode.
Do you guys do recaps of every episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we took not a couple months off. We took a minute off because after that video blew up.
Yes.
Of me, I didn't even say nothing bad about Chris Harrison. I was just trying to say, racism existed in 2018, sir.
Yeah.
But after that video blew up,
And that video blew up.
Yeah, man. We were about to delete it because, I was like, dang, I forgot captions. And then Victoria texted me and was like, bro, it has 100,000 views, leave it. And I was like, okay, I'll just upload a different one. And she was like, girl, it has 500,000 views. And I was like, what's up? And then suddenly I had 4,000 or 5,000 followers. And I was like, no.
Welcome to hell.
That's exactly what I was like, I can feel it. I was with my parents. I still had COVID. I recorded that video while I had COVID. It was one of my good days. And I could feel the energy. So I went back into my room where I was isolating from my family. And I was like, do I tell my parents? Am I supposed to tell my mama about this? Or because my dad works in the government, this has happened before with some activist stuff that really scared them. And then the death threat started.
Yeah.
Real quick. And I was like, yeah, we going private. And then we kind of just disappeared for a little bit just because we needed to take a step back. That shit was taxing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I did not finish Matt James this season.
You weren't missing much.
I know. I saw some clips, and I was in Mexico when the finale was happening, and I tried watching, and I got 10 minutes in. I was like, man, I'm in Mexico. Why am I watching this man?
Enjoy your time away.
I'm in the pool with my computer guys, I have to watch The Bachelor.
I got a live stream.
I have to they need the live reaction. They didn't need it. But Katie as the Bachelorette, I was initially hardcore no, I don't want it. I'm uninterested. The entire season I had hot takes about how it seemed like she came off as a white savior. And I was like, the lens of white feminism was being pushed and thrust, I think, upon her edit. And I was like, we're not seeing all of Katie.
Where it's pink pussy power.
Yeah. It's women support women. It's okay, but in what context?
Yeah.
And what kind of women support what kind of women? Or do we support, are women supporting all women? Or are we recognizing, how certain women might be villainized for, their actual feelings because of certain stereotypes and tropes that exist in society? What do we mean? And in a show like The Bachelor, there's no nuance to look at. It's you just got the white girl,
yeah.
Everybody stop being so mean. And then you cut to a bunch of women of color, laughing it off.
Yeah.
It's what does that look like? So initially, I was a little icy. I was like, I get it. Y'all need to keep your demographic. But I don't even feel like she could keep your demographic because I was confused. She exhausted me, even though she seems like a cool person.
Yeah.
I don't know her personally. I remember I had made a meme with Bernie Sanders and she posted it without crediting me. Really, really early on in the season. And I was like, this is violence.
Give me credit.
I'm really proud of my inauguration Bernie Bachelor meme. And I was like, also, bro, it's a meme. And I guarantee you 82 other people made the same thing.
But when you put your heart and soul into a Bachelor meme,
And this is when we had 800 followers. So I was
I need it.
We need the. And so, I didn't really care. I was like, I might not even watch the season. I don't want to watch it. And she gave me the whole I want to have a talk show. I can already see the branding, adventures with Katie and whoever she ends up picking, or it seems like she's playing the game real well. And so for the reasons I was against it initially, I still feel like I'm oh no.
See, I don't get that. Maybe. I think she could be doing it, but I don't feel I don't know. I go back and forth with her because I wasn't stoked initially because I was just she seemed kind of like annoying. She started to get kind of on my nerves preseason, or I was just kind of like, I don't know. But then now I like her because she's just like, I really feel like she is just being herself. Mm-hmm. She's like being herself with the guys. And so even though I feel like she might have goals, I feel like she really is like, I want to like do this thing. And also I'm trying to get a little less judgy about the For the Right Reasons, because I'm also like, how many people are going the fuck on there for their husband? I mean, give me a fucking break.
No, dead ass. That is literally, my partner and I were watching it because shout out Maximilian, I finally got him into this shit. But we were watching last night and he was like, I don't know, she seems like mad genuine, bro. And I was like, I think there's both and. Like, I think she's like both like maybe wants to be engaged for real at the end of this. Yeah. I do think she actually was into Matt. Yeah. And now she's like, here's an opportunity where I can find my bae, and then also we might be able to cut a check together. Like, let's get our
Power
coin.
couple.
Like, and that's what I see. So that's why I'm like, I can't tell if I trust it. But also she's been on this show for like a year straight now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Also, what you're saying though about the narrative being thrust upon her is interesting, because I was kind of feeling this last night when the guys keep talking about like how sex positive she is and how comfortable with her sexuality she is. And I'm like, me and Gray were getting annoyed. We were like, okay, but how do you know this? Because she showed up with a fucking dildo.
That's it.
So like, what do we know about her sexuality? What do we know about how comfortable she is with it, aside from that she masturbates and uses like a vibrator to do it?
Welcome.
It's like, I don't know.
Girl, I think most of us are trying.
Yeah. That's just started to get on my nerves, where people are like, she's so sex positive, or the guy's like, I've never been with someone as comfortable with their sexuality as her. And I'm just like, what is this off the basis of?
Well, and I think something that's interesting, and I would love to hear y'all thoughts on it, is like, you know how you use certain words and they lose their meaning immediately?
Absolutely. Yes.
Like woke, died. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Died, went to hell, keeps trying to come back, but it's like, girl, stay down. Like, take the KO. Yeah. That's how I feel. Like, that's what I feel is happening with the word sex positive on this show. I was like, how many times are we going to say this? Do I need to start a tally mark? Yeah. Like, do I need to treat it like, you know, every time they have the Bachelor shirtless on the show, like, how many times do they have him shirtless this episode? How many times are you going to say sex positive and not actually know what you're talking about?
Or not give any concrete examples, or like actually show it, aside from being like, we're going to do the best lover in the world challenge.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, it's so true. The Bachelor, we were even like talking about this a little bit last episode, where it's like the Bachelor just takes something and it just beats it down until you're like, I started liking this and now I can't stand it, because you guys just don't know the idea of just sprinkling something in. It's just like a heavy pour, and I'm like, okay.
It's like the Colton with the virgin thing.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God, bro, we get it. You've never had sex. You've never had sex.
Yeah. It's like, come on now. Like, it's virginity. Like, girl, it's okay.
It's
like,
okay.
There are virgins out there. We don't have to mollywop it into everyone's being to be like, remember, she's sex positive. She uses a vibrator. He is a virgin. Okay?
They take everything and they just make it that person's whole identity. So because Katie enjoys a vibrator, it's like she is this way.
Well, and welcome
because
to
someone's
reality
a virgin.
TV.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you just have to have like the full blown, like, this is who you are and whatever.
It's literally all aspects of reality TV is to make you into a caricature of yourself. It's like Extreme Home Makeover, like we joke about, where they're like, you like horses? We're building you a horse stable bedroom, and you're gonna have a horse as a bathtub, and like there's gonna be a chariot of horses that is gonna deliver you to your new house. You know, it's like that's reality TV, dude.
Yes.
It's like,
or it's like Love and Hip Hop. Was it Love and Hip? Ooh, I'm gonna get in trouble, and I'm about to get my black card snatched if Love and Hip Hop is not where Cardi B originated. But but it was like Cardi B and her existence. Her whole existence is what people wanted to beat us over the head. It was her teeth. It was the titties that were a little lopsided, and she was like, and what? Who cares? You know? It was the butt, and it was like just constantly still being like on 10. Yeah. And everyone being like, what? Is this a human being? And then you realize it's like, yes, it is indeed. They blew it up because they gave her a lot of screen time. And now she has the freedom to be that exact human being wherever I don't care if she don't write her own music. I'm listening to it. right? I want my money to be up and stuck. I don't know what that means. Had never heard of it before. Bodak yellow, red bottoms. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm invested.
Yeah, I'm completely invested.
Because reality TV choked me to death with her personality.
Exactly. Well, yeah. I with the whole Katie piece, I feel like I'm in a similar place where you both are now. I've always really liked Katie because I feel like Katie has just kind of it was interesting because on Matt James's season initially I was like I don't know, but then when I was seeing her on social media I'm like I feel like I'm getting more of like who she is. You've been
a Katie stan.
I've been a Katie stan because I feel like she's kind of one of those people who just puts exactly who she is out there, and when she does receive any sort of like kickback about it, she just digs her heels in. And I respect that. Yeah. I respect that it's not this kind of wishy-washy sense of who she is where I don't quite get her. And then it's like night one, you're picking the cat guy. You're going for all the guys that I'm like, no other bachelorette that I'm aware of would be choosing these people. And yet here we are because you're just you. And so I do appreciate that. I will agree
with you there because I like night one was like, yo, we were looking at these guys and I think Victoria was like, where are the Ken dolls? Like, is this the B team? Max last night was like, what is this, junior varsity? When looking at these men, I was like, I'm sorry, but Katie's picking all the men that I would pick. These are guys in real life that, like Connor the cat, I would immediately be like thrusting over, just melting, dripping. You're a teacher, you play the guitar, and you're wearing whiskers. I was invested. I was like, that's my man.
Becca was traumatized.
I am like so traumatized.
Becca was traumatized me with the paws. And I was the same way where I was like, your cat costume gives me like gives me chills all over my body in a bad way. But there's something about who you are that I hate can't
cats.
help it.
Cats are trash. Like, and I'm allergic, so that's a thing. But if that's as close as I can come to a kitten, baby, bring it on over.
Get those paws all over
and
me.
You guys are over there itching, just like. I'm going to throw up.
Disgusted, bro. Well, okay. Why don't we take a pause and then why don't we get into the episode? I'm not gonna lie. I have like I feel like I have like my 10 points of the episode, and I'm kind of wondering if instead of going play by play, if we might want to just talk about like the hot characters and the hot moments of the episode.
I'm all about that. I'm all about it. I feel like this is one of these episodes where
hit it and quit it.
Yeah, yes. I feel like it's one of these episodes where it's just better to get into some of the hot points instead of you know. But let's take a quick pause. So, brats, now that we have all spent the last, 16 months in sweatsuits, slippers, I gotta say, I don't think my feet are ready for stiletto heels again, that's for sure. I need to ease back into the art of wearing real clothes and shoes again, which is why I have been fully stocking my closet with ROTHY'S, the most comfortable thing I've ever put on my feet that wasn't of the slipper variety. And I'm not just saying that. ROTHY'S surveyed thousands of customers, and the single most popular word used to describe their shoes is comfy.
Guys, I just need to tell you because I got an ad last night from ROTHY'S for their new bubble slide sandals.
Oh, those are so cute.
The black is sold out in like every size. Actually, they might be restocked when we post this. Who knows? But they are so cute.
Oh, they're so
just had to show you guys because the bubble slide are the it shoe for ROTHY'S right now, in my opinion. Anyway, ROTHY'S unique seamless design paired with the fact that they're made out of super comfy, moldable materials makes them the perfect shoe for any occasion. Plus, they're eco-conscious because ROTHY'S are crafted with thread made from recycled water bottles, and they are 100% machine washable. Anytime your ROTHY'S start to look a little bit loved, you can pop them in the wash and they come out looking brand freaking new.
My favorite pair is the classic, the point in black, because it goes with every single thing in my closet. But I've also gotten a few pairs for my daughter. I'm probably going to need those bubble ones now too. But I got some for Ember, and now they've recently launched a men's line, and Evan has a few pairs on the way. Who, What, Where, and Pop Sugar, and even Vogue have all raved about ROTHY'S, and we couldn't agree more. They're comfortable, sustainable, machine washable, and super stylish. They really do it all.
Upgrade your closet with washable, sustainable, stylish shoes and bags from ROTHY'S. Plus, they just launched men's shoes, actually. So make sure to check them out for the special guy in your life. Head to rothys.com/chatty. Find your new favorites today. That's rothys.com/chatty.
So the weather in Southern California, and I think a lot of the country right now, is hot. Hot, hot, hot. It's so hot right now. If you hear the air conditioning in the background, that's because we're trying not to pass away in the studio. But it's hot, which means I'm spending every single second possible outside soaking up the sun when I have the opportunity. And thanks to Article, I am getting some great outdoor furniture. And I'm recreating an outdoor dream, okay? You've got to check out Article's newest outdoor collection. It's called the Seaside Retreat. I mean, the name alone sounds so dreamy. The series features super elegant pieces designed exactly how you probably picture a seaside retreat. Natural woods, pops of blue and yellow and green. In short, you get that seaside retreat without having to go to the sea. The stuff is so cute.
Whenever we talk about Article, I'm always going to like Google and look up their new stuff.
I know. I always hear you get quiet and I'm like, I know that you're on their website right now.
Article is seriously our number one pick when it comes to making your home, inside or outside, the space that you've always wanted. They make shopping for your home easier than ever by combining the curation of a specialty boutique furniture store with the ease and simplicity of shopping online. All the in-stock items ship super quickly, and they offer free shipping on all orders over $999. Also, the savings, you guys, that's just the cherry on top because Article cuts out the middleman, sells directly to you, and you save up to 30% over traditional retail prices.
I have a lot of pieces from Article around my home, pretty much something in every room, actually. So I can say firsthand, the quality is even better than I expected it would be. Each piece is designed with premium materials that are made to last. I couldn't be happier with every piece I've gotten from Article. Again, I can truly not tell you how good the quality is. It always shocks me when it arrives.
And broads, I think this is a pretty good deal. We are offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more, which I think is such a hack because there are like $110 items that you can get for practically half off with our code when you get $50 off. Go to article.com/chatty. The discount's going to be automatically applied at checkout. So just go to article.com/chatty. You're going to get $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Woohoo! Okay, let's get into this. Let's get into this episode.
Oh, please.
Yes.
I just want to say y'all need to go use these codes.
Yeah.
ROTHY'S are the most sensational shoe I've ever put on my feet.
Oh my gosh, they're so nice.
I got them as a gift from our producer's wrapped gift. They were like, "We're gonna get you guys all ROTHY'S," and I was like, "I've heard of these before."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay." I was like, remember you guys talking about them on the pod, and I was like, "Oh wow, sustainable shoes." And then I got them, and they got the color I got. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of sleek and finesse." And then I put them on, and I was like, "Oh shit."
The comfiness is pretty shocking.
Like, it's insane. My mom keeps trying to steal them from me.
Yeah, you gotta
I had
keep
to
them
like
away.
ship them back to New York while I was staying with my parents in Virginia because I was like, you can't have them.
Stay away.
Protect
but
the
if you do
ROTHY'S
use
at all
them,
costs.
I can put them in the washing machine and they look
And they
fresh.
look brand new.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't go use these codes, I'm telling you, they are putting y'all onto some good stuff. Okay, that's all.
Thank you for the plug. Thank you for the plug.
We appreciate the plug.
Okay, so I'm proposing we talk about a few different topics. This is my proposal.
Okay.
We need to talk about Mike. That's
Yes.
the first.
Girl, for a second, I was like,
Yeah.
Mike Johnson?
No, we need to talk about Mike the Virgin.
Mike the
Virgin.
We got to talk about him.
I call him Hillsong.
I love that. Hillsong Mike.
That is so accurate.
I keep forgetting his name, so I keep calling him Hillsong.
I prefer that name. I truly do.
I love that. We need to talk about that. Can we just start there? So this is all in the context of the weird bedroom group date.
Yeah. For those who haven't watched, if we can set the scene a little bit, right? So
Do people? I can't believe I see in the comments people saying that they don't actually watch the
there's
episodes.
quite a lot of people who just listen.
They just listen to
Yeah.
we get that too. People are like, I don't even watch The Bachelor. I'm just here for y'all recaps. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So basically, they are put in a date where it's a big group date, and comedian Heather McDonald is there. They literally set the situation up like it looks like it's going to be performance art, where like a spotlight on a vibrator, a spotlight on a bra. It's out of control, and the men are told that they all need to put some sort of performance in to prove that they are the best lover my body, the best lover of all, and then someone wins the best lover trophy.
Yeah, and there are some like fun ones, like Connor the cat. He had a really cute song.
Yeah, that song
was really good.
And like I was like, okay, we got a verse, we got a hook here, a bridge. Like I'm invested. I know his students were out there like, we're about to put a remix on this and make a dance to TikTok.
To be honest, I was really shocked as soon as he busted out the guitar. I was like, this is gonna be so painful. And then his lyrics were funny.
Good and
He was like the comedic opener of a show, like just doing a quick little like.
It was great.
Yeah,
he was like Nick Thune, Bo Burnham type like comedian energy a little bit. I was like, okay. And also, just a quick little side note about our Connor the cat. Recently found out that through the entire filming of the show, he was wearing an anklet with the transgender flag because his sister is trans and he was wanting to support her, and he's like a huge advocate for trans rights, and so he had that anklet on the entire time filming.
What a way of bringing that on set,
right?
Making sure, like making space for it on set, and you don't even have to know.
That's the thing. He had his little anklet on, and he would take a photo of it and send it to his parents, and so his mom posted about it, and I'm just like,
I could burst into tears right now.
All right, Connor. I know.
That's sweet.
I will cap for him until the end of time.
But since we're talking about him,
I don't know how much farther it's going to go.
The makeout session that night when he was like proposing that they redo. So later on in the evening, since we're talking about Connor, he was like, let's, the first kiss maybe wasn't. I mean, I thought the first kiss went well, according to Katie.
She was throwing that body into it. I was like, ma'am,
the pause.
We're doing a body roll like we're in Get Me Bodied by Beyonce. Like, what's going on?
So
I mean, went fine.
They seemed happy. I was like, mazel tov to the both of you. I hope you're happy. But when he said, let's redo the first kiss, first of all, I don't like that intro into a kiss of like why don't we kiss again?
Yeah.
And then like the way he went for it, and she pulled out of that kiss.
She did.
She pulled back.
She did. I saw it and I was like, uh-oh.
I know.
I was like, oh, shit. No, wait, no, but... And she was like, oh, but I'm so hot and bothered. I was like, I don't know if you are. Because I saw that recoil. It came from the gut.
It did. It was the ick in the gut.
It was the...
She loved the furry kiss, and beyond the furry kiss, it's not for her.
You put a little too much tongue into it. You saw that. Oh my God, I hate that on The Bachelor. You see that tongue work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also... Connor, I love you so much. I'm sending this to you with all the blessings in the world, with peace and love for your future makeout sessions. When a woman is rocking a beautiful, low, messy bun that is perfectly coiffed, do not grab it at the top and destroy the hair.
Oh, that alone, I'd be like, no.
I'm like, I have the rest of the night.
I get the story. Like, I get that you're trying to push the storyline. Like, I was touching your head with a paw last time, so let me touch your hair with my hand. I was like, yeah, but you don't got to. Grab my neck or something. A shoulder.
Give me a little choke.
Give me a little waist.
Yeah.
Give me a little choke. I'll take a little choke on the second.
I don't have any makeup here. Also, like, even if you touched my hair, just gentle, but he took a grab and it messed up her beautifully coiffed hair.
I'm thinking about this bun right now, and there was no care put into this, right? This is like 4-day-old.
Looks pretty good.
It's looking very nice.
Thank you. I just wanted to. I was like, what will allow headphones to fit on top? Yeah. Because wearing it down, it was gonna look dumb. But I was like, if Max had the audacity to like touch my bun right now, I'd be like, hold on, now I gotta take it out. It already takes me 40 minutes to get it up in the first place.
Yeah,
Connor.
And then he's just gonna. Oh, that's.
I'm still gonna cap for him,
of course. And I think Connor. Katie is not. It's not gonna go maybe more than a few more weeks, just because she can. I don't think so, because she connects with him emotionally, like in like maybe a friend way. But the ick. The ick is...
It was there.
You can't hide the ick, and she did that in the kiss.
And I think he was so nervous. You could see the nerve. You could see the nerves and the anxiety. He was like, oh, let's redo the first kiss. And then like, I'm already in there. You can't even say no.
It's like, no. But I do believe that he will... I'm going to make this prediction now. Connor will find love in paradise, and it'll be a love that works.
Ooh.
I believe he will meet someone in paradise, and I think it'll work out.
Fire and flames, flames and fire.
I have this feeling for him. I feel it in my gut.
I'm sure he'll make someone
I
very
do not
happy.
want him for Katie. I just want him to stay on the show longer.
Yes.
No,
That's where I'm at.
I want him gone.
You want him gone now. Go ahead and send him home next episode, Katie. Rose ceremony, just surprise us all.
Don't beat around the bush, please.
Okay, just let us know where you really at.
Yeah,
You like
just
to
be
keep it real. Keep it
straightforward.
real with us.
Yeah,
we
just-
saw the ick.
We saw the
saw
egg.
it.
You can't hide it.
I just want I want his students to be proud of him.
I know.
They're proud.
They're so
They're
proud.
Michaela.
Like-
They're proud.
Like, go viral on TikTok. I just want your success, Connor B. That's all I want.
That's true. You know he's a good person. I'll give him that.
That's the one guy I think I would follow on Instagram. Right?
I don't think I haven't followed any of them
I haven't
yet.
followed not name.
Even though I will tell you, I have been tempted to follow Justin, and I've been looking at his photos, but I have not pushed the follow button.
I'm ready to hate follow Greg. Actually, I wouldn't follow him. I would
Gregory Evan Hansen.
I would definitely lurk on his page via a burner. I would not follow. I don't want to add to his follower account or his
I'm not
likes.
adding to shit over for William Esper Studios. No, hell no. Absolutely, I rebuke.
I have no idea who you just said.
Oh, that's his acting school.
Yeah.
That he went to, which I'm very familiar with. Like, that's an acting school that I would just go get like some additional training. It's a pretty good school.
It is.
But that's the thing. It's a pretty good school.
Oh, wait, we're going to hear your thoughts as an actor about Greg. Okay, before we get into Mike, I want to save Mike kind of for the end
for sure.
because this is
Yes.
the cherry on top. In my opinion, the best of the episode was this whole Mike situation. Not like he is the best, but this was, to me, the crescendo of the
think so.
episode.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They did like a little quizzy thing. Just one thing I want to note. I gave Courtney major points because Courtney knew the answer to the trivia of what piece of clothing is going to make a woman have a higher chance of having an orgasm. And
Yeah.
Courtney was like, socks. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
And honestly, I did not know that, and the socks are going on tonight. I had no idea.
Well-researched man.
Also, shout out to Connor. He knew that the woman's largest sex organ is the brain.
Yeah, of course he
teacher,
did.
You know, you
Yeah, I
gotta
know.
know. If he didn't know that, that'd be embarrassing.
Everyone else said vagina except Justin said tongue.
Sex organ? It's not a sex organ.
I'm over here thinking about how taste buds regenerate every 3 weeks, and I'm like, that's the largest sex organ? Like, that's what you think it is? That one? I got a whole uterus, you know?
I'm just thinking more like, Justin, I know you I'm sure have women throwing themselves at you on a regular basis, and our largest sex organ is not our tongue. Okay.
I wonder if he was thinking of his own tongue. I wonder if he was like,
Justin's tongue.
man, like, it's the tongue, duh, I'm so good at it. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if that was his thought.
That definitely
and then
might
just
be.
got
The
confused.
you know what? The tongue is the largest. No.
It's
The most strong muscle or something? The tongue is the most something muscle.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that thing can regrow. That's a thing.
The tongue can regrow.
Not like in full like healing and stuff, but
it can-
it like if you bite a piece of your tongue, it can repair itself.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it is, but
The tongue starts to make me nauseous if I think about it for too long, if I'm being
I'm
honest.
still thinking about taste buds.
Justin. So they do the quiz, and then the men start to
Their
perform.
performance.
Like you said, Connor's was great. Also, I liked, but I'm also such a simp for Christian. His Christian was the most basic, but I still was just like, oh.
see, I don't remember what his
I don't
was.
even remember.
So he went up and he's just like with his Boston accent. He was just like, hey, babe, like, I just want to let you know, I know that intimacy is not just about sex. And I want to let you know that, like, I
I've
clean
done
the
the
house,
dishes,
I
and
wash the
yeah.
dishes.
Yeah.
And what did he say? Really not much, but his just vibe. Whenever he says wicked, I just get weak at the knees. I'm
Ew.
just like, I can't handle it.
literally wrote him down in my notes as the Boston cream guy. I don't like him. I don't know why.
I like him. I think he's cute, but if someone says wicked, like that to me is so
Wicked with a
much.
Boston accent.
no, that's so chuggy.
Oh my God.
I just keep waiting for him to say khakis again. Like he
Oh,
got or car keys. You know what I mean?
Khakis.
Yeah.
Every time he gets on screen, I'm like, what? Wait, what's going on?
I think he's cute. I think he's cute for sure.
Yeah, I
I-
like his face, but then he starts talking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you did the dishes. yes, thank you for cleaning the house. That is sexy. I do enjoy that. Like, but I don't want to like you. And he's trying.
You're resistant.
He's one of those ones. We talked about it before. I'm like, I am embarrassed that I have such a weak spot for him, but
and
he's
the
one of
curls
those
do be
ones.
curling.
Guys, I'm still calling Justin Marcus in my notes. I was calling him Marcus last week, and I'm still calling Justin Marcus.
It's okay.
Marcus has left the building.
Marcus is not
Justin
here.
He is a
remains.
Marcus to me. He does not look like a Justin to me. I don't know what
his name is. His mama said his name is Justin.
Yeah,
But
so it's Justin.
I have to say, guys, I made a note that he had to bring up another art joke, and he brought up when he was massaging her feet. I know a piece of art when I see one, and I'm like, enough with the fucking art references. We get it that you're a fucking painter.
The artist in the room is like, stop reminding people.
This is what I brought up last week. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, it's like a musician, and Jess gets it. If someone's always like has their guitar out, is always
we
like
get
talking, is always
it.
trying to sing. It's like,
makes
bro,
sense.
we get it. You're a musician. It's the
Yeah.
same thing to me with the artist thing. It's like, we get it. You paint. You're a piece of stop. Is that your only thing that you
That's
can
gonna
do to
be
get
his
women to
bit.
sack?
He said that's his bit.
Yeah.
And he's
like, this has
sticking
worked for
to
me
it.
so many times
and I was like,
before.
well, shoot, if you in my feet like this already, go ahead, make whatever stupid bit you want.
I know.
Make sure you get into my the arch of my feet. Like, make sure you get in there.
Yes. Yeah. And don't hold back.
Don't
do
hold back.
this
I know a piece
pussyfooting.
of art. You better paint me like one of your French girls with your hands on my feet right
You better
now.
act like
in
I'm
front
a
all
lump
these
of
men.
clay, and you better get in there
Thank
and
you.
work it.
Shape me.
Now,
I do not hate a foot massage. That's for sure.
that is a segue into we need to talk about Karl's motivational speech, because this is where I was like, I'm not sure about Justin. Now, Karl, the motivational speaker, launched into, I don't know, like a 15-minute diatribe about how to be a good lover.
And then he grabbed her cardboard cutout and started just putting the banana all over.
No, that was not okay.
Also, why was there a cardboard cutout of
I don't
Katie?
know.
That
It
feels
was
like
giving me my sixth grade. Not sixth grade. Yikes, that would have been. Oh no, it's more embarrassing. I was in like the 11th or 12th. My cardboard cutout of Justin Bieber.
yeah. Well,
I was like, why
think
do those still?
I would imagine production put that up there so that they could use it as an example during their
At least nobody drew
performances.
on it.
No one drew on it, and but Karl, and then I'm confused why Karl had a clipboard for every point. It was so many clipboards.
whiteboard?
Yeah, whiteboard. It was just like, can you just do a little quick erase and then just write it? And
I didn't really get what was going on.
The whiteboard.
Because like we didn't really see it. We're seeing bits and pieces.
I
of the
don't
motivational
remember
speech.
anything that, as he calls himself, K. Smitty said. And I would like for him to never call him. As someone who used to formerly, as a Sagittarius who also used to call themselves Shoddy Low Thug Nasty, I would like to say K. Smitty never again. Stop. I was motivated to stop. Like, I was motivated
turn off
to
your TV.
heckle. I was motivated to join the guys. I was like, I'm with Justin. I don't know. Shut up.
Okay, so that's where I was like, I feel it, but also Justin, straight out the gate with Karl's speech, was coming in with the like, no,
that's
what?
true.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, bro, why are you going out of your way like week 2 to be clowning on this, like clowning on some dude?
That's
to me,
fair.
I was like, okay, like you really got to be a dick to like stand out with the other guys.
Sorry.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, yes, relatable, but also like, I don't know, kind of mean.
It was. He came out hot.
It was a little bit of a red flag, I would say.
Fair, yeah, and because he seemed like his feet were in the ground, like shut the fuck up, and I was like,
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, yeah, he's kind of annoying, but dang, like, and I was with like Tasha and Caitlin and Katie on the side. They were like, well, come on, like let him do his thing. Like everybody else got to do their thing.
And
you know?
Trey was just like, what was the word that he mispronounced that then everyone was giving him a
Suffocate.
shit about? Suffocate.
yeah.
And Trey's just like, it's okay. It was suffocate. It's okay. Just we got
Just
we got to
keep
just keep
moving.
going.
Right. Whereas Justin's like, suffocate? And I'm like,
Yeah.
And it's like, I see Justin where you're about to try and push
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it could get you more screen time, but don't do it.
It's like if Justin would have made one of the comments of like the 12 that he did,
Yeah.
I would have been like, I would have been like, I see you, Justin.
Yes.
But then it just it was too much.
The only one that I was with where like he was like, so that I don't know. I think K Smitty says something about like what Katie really wants. And he was like, well, we know what she doesn't want. Like if he had only said that I would have been like, ha.
Or even just one of his no's where he's just like, no. And he said like, oh, she wants like, this or whatever. Like, okay, keep it simple.
He was at a 72. He could have been at like a 6.
Yes, exactly. And then it would have made him, it would have been like a charming, funny little moment for him. Now, I will say I heard a quick clip of Heather McDonald, who was the comedian host on Nick's podcast.
Fighter.
And she said that Kay Smitty went for 18 minutes. And everybody else did like a 1.5 minute.
Oh.
So then
that I believe.
She said it was not. They did not have like one of the production moments where they tried to exaggerate the length.
You saw those whiteboards.
18 minutes.
It seemed like it was going. I was like, how long have they been in here? That's why I was like, I didn't really pay attention to Justin heckling because I'm like, well, what if it started all of that? What if all of that was in the last like 10 minutes?
I think that's an important piece to remember. Like maybe Justin's heckling started 17 minutes in. And he's just like...
And it's all just rapid fire for the last minute and a half.
Connor is like, all right. Like, you know, Connor was like, okay, let's bring it home.
Our sweet Courtney with a Q was like, shot clock something or whatever. I think it was a basketball reference. But I was like, yeah, because it seems... I feel like we've been sitting here for a second.
It's been a long time.
Courtney is sweet, though.
I like him.
I like him too.
When he came on screen last night, Max was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "You're not about to play Courtney with a Q. All right, you gonna stay right back there."
He needs an image consultant.
Image consultant. Yes, I don't know what curling product he's using on his hair, but it's the wrong one. And I would love to help you with some Black-owned brands, like As I Am, Curls Co. Like all of these could really hook you up, bro. But whatever you're using, it'll look a little too crunchy, and it don't look like it's right for your texture.
I will say, Courtney is one of the rare men on this show that I feel like exudes both sweetness and sexiness at the same time. I feel like normally the show...
a quiet fire.
Yeah. Normally the show, you have these characters who are one or the other. It's
or like either sexy and safe. You're like, oh no, you're actually not kind of like a low-key predator.
No, exactly. It's like, I feel safe with you. You're also sexy. You also came in with that poem that was pretty intense from the top, and yet I feel still comfortable with you.
Yes.
I don't know what he has very unspoken energy that like...
That's what I was saying. I was like, he's the only one that could pull off the cunnilingus intro joke, and you could be like, okay,
I like it.
It worked.
I wasn't, I wasn't like, oh Jesus, it was more like oh Jesus. Okay,
No, exactly.
That's where we're at.
With anyone else, it would have just been like, turn the channel off immediately. But I was intrigued.
It's like it's like the kombucha girl meme, where it's like,
oh yeah, like what meme?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I was like, I don't know if I do like it.
Okay, Courtney.
I do like it. Okay. So we need to talk about Mike.
Get into Hillsong.
I said, for the record, night one, I was like, he's got kind eyes. This guy, like, I know what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a Luke P situation. This is a good guy. Like, I just know he's a good guy.
And I think not only does he have kind eyes, and he seems, because I had doubts. I was like, I saw the cross and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Triggered trauma.
Yeah.
Like, especially as someone who's recently left their church, I was like, his name is Hillsong and it will always be Hillsong. Hillsong is not the church I left, just not saying anything bad about Hillsong. But I was like, I don't know. And then he started talking and I was like, wait, this might be a real one. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he can tell that the producers know how they want to use him. And he's like, I'm not doing that for y'all.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm a virgin. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have faith. Yes, but that doesn't, though it's a focal part of my identity, it's not going to color how I engage with this other human.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I trust you.
Totally.
I trust you.
Totally. He's someone I'm like, if any of my girlfriends are dating him, I'd be like,
good
happy
one.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely like what you were saying, Mai. Like my past traumatic purity culture experiences with him, I'll be real, I was having those responses where I'm like immediately like full judging, like I know there's like, I was having these responses. And I'd also gotten a few messages from people that were like, oh, he wrote these, like, he's made these comments about purity culture, what a piece of shit, da da da. And I never, so maybe I'm missing something, but people said that and I've actually haven't seen them with my own eyes. So maybe they're out there, but I haven't seen them.
What are you talking about? Something you wrote on the internet?
Yeah, it was something like in an article, like he said something, but I haven't seen it. So I'm not 100% sure. But I will say, from what we saw from last night's episode, I was like, there was like, there was certain wording where I'm like, oh, again, my past trauma, where I'm like, but when the way that he went about it, and especially there was a moment where he was saying, where he's like, when he won the award, the intimacy award at the end, and he's like, this goes to show that intimacy comes in a lot of different forms. And it felt pretty open. Yeah. That it wasn't like, it didn't feel like I was preparing for it to be very much like, this is the right way to do it and the only way. And that was where I was like gonna get all sorts of defensive. But when the way that he worded it, it felt very much like, this is what I have chosen to experience in my life. And it was really emotional.
He said that in the first episode and I believed him. He was like, this is my journey. And like, if Katie, I know the way, like, I can't remember how he worded it, but he was basically like, I know that this is not Katie's journey, but like maybe if we were to decide to enter into a relationship together, like this could be our journey. And the way he worded all of that, just even from night one, I was like, this guy is not like, he said it straight out the gate. This is what I'm doing. This is not what she's doing. And that's cool. Maybe we could be on a similar journey together if like we were to get together. And I loved that. And and I think that even if he was writing this or that about purity culture, someone who has narrowly survived it, I'm also like, but you can decide what's right or wrong for yourself. And that is totally okay. If for you that like having sex before marriage is not right, you do you. And I'm fine with that. And you can believe that for yourself as long as you're not projecting it onto other people and demanding that other people live the same way. Like, I'm like, you're good if that's where you stand.
And I didn't get that energy from him at all. And something else that I noted was after he had his performance and then won the award, he was very celebrated by the men. There were lots of hugs.
Yes. The guys were like smiling and clapping. They were like,
you better go off, bro.
Which makes you start to think like, okay, so far he's had a positive impact in the house.
Yes.
They're not like, oh, here's a way for us to try to get this guy out, and like there wasn't any sort of negative reaction
for him.
And that's what I love, because there's this whole notion. I recently started wearing my purity ring again as a joke. Just because, like, first of all, like, I remember when I got my little True Love weights ring, I was like, yes. And then I remember the moment, like, it cracked in half while I was talking to this boy.
I'd be terrified.
Oh my gosh. That's who I ended up later, like years later, losing my virginity
to. Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Stop it.
Once it cracked, I was like, this is the one.
You're like, I've imprinted.
I was like, is this God telling me to do this?
Yes.
But it was one of those things where when I was younger, because of being, raised in such a devout, like Southern Baptist household, purity culture is an imposition that's put on people. Growing up and getting older, I've realized like we have the opportunity to decide or change how we use that, right? So like I have friends who are still like, I'm waiting till marriage, or did wait till marriage. And it's like, go off. None of them have ever shamed me for not.
Yeah.
And I think that is what I find really interesting about Mike, is like, he's not imposing his faith. He's not imposing his virginity. It just so happens that those are two things that exist within him. Yeah. Even when he was answering the questions, he hit them question marks. I was like, clever. Right? Or when he says something like, I just want Katie to see my heart. I don't hear that sentence the way I used to hear, like, oh, I just want them, like, I want them to know my heart. I don't hear it like I heard it when Maddie said it. I don't hear it like I heard it when Sarah Trott said it. I'm just like, let's see your heart. And his heart seems to be like, if we happen to align, so be it. I'm thinking about you and your journey just as much as I'm thinking about my own. and I'm not trying to impose whatever I've chosen for myself on you. Like, that's not.
And I think it speaks to the vibe in the room, how everyone couldn't help but congratulate him.
Yeah.
Like the men, and of course Katie was crying. I was tearing
Yeah, I was
up
just
watching it.
I was straight when he initially
it was a really beautiful
It was, and it was
tribute.
nice.
and when he started again, like, so when he started crying because he was nervous,
Yeah.
I felt so upset. I was
like, protection!
I'm over here like trying to like. I'm like, do I need to fight a producer?
I know, I'm like,
because I
oh
know
my
you standing
God.
right behind that camera and you asking him all of these questions, and he knows he doesn't want to answer them, but he is trying to appease you, and you guys just don't see it.
I'm also just like, you goddamn producers, date one, you do this to this man? It's so early. Like, you don't even
I just didn't think it would be so soon. He's like, I knew they'd try to exploit me, but I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready for it to be on the first group date. And his eye, like, once you saw that his eyes were red, I was just like, my eyes are about to be red.
I'm like, and then when he took her and had her sit on the bed and he started to read the letter, my body immediately was like, oh no, I feel like this isn't going to go well. And I was very nervous, like what the letter was going to potentially say.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
I'm telling you, for the record,
great.
I've been Team Mike since night one.
I
I've
know,
had
she
nothing
was.
but full confidence in
Love
the
that man. Y'all
So-
could keep him.
yeah.
Like,
I just think he'll make someone so happy someday. His
will.
wife, like he's just gonna, he's gonna be a good husband, a good dad.
even when he came in, after, like, at the nighttime portion of the day, or when he said, he was like, I want her to hear this from me. Like, or at the nighttime portion of the day, he was like, look, I feel sorry for whoever I do get married,
That's
because
cute.
the energy is there. It's pent up. And I was like, this is,
Yes.
I like you.
You can
It's
joke
so-
about it.
That's a real fucking conversation. That's not somebody who's going like, yes, I am strong and I continue to be
Yeah.
strong. It's like, oh no, this is
It's like, girl, temptation is there, and I be thinking about it. I do. I was thinking about it when I met you, when I got out the car, night one. Like, I'm thinking about it right now.
I loved it. I am so, and now what I'm very nervous about is because this has been painted
Yeah.
so beautifully because he's handled the situation so well. Full credit to him. I'm nervous about what production is going to try to continue to do to exploit this poor man.
I think he took the power from them. I really do. I think the
Yeah.
way he handled this whole situation.
Remember the clip? Don't you remember the clip for like last week of the long preview for the season? He's like crying and he says something about like sex and he's like, I didn't want to do this, da da da, and it was.
Oh, I thought that was from this
jarring.
week.
Well, so that's the thing.
was
Is
it?
I think
think it might have been.
I think it might have been him crying later in the season, but I do think that quote was from this episode.
I think so too. Like
okay.
I think it would be
Looking at
so
that
early, or whatever.
that long preview now, I'm just like, was this long preview mostly this episode, the second episode? Because
so
I
too.
feel like now I really have no idea what's about to happen this season.
I hadn't thought about that. That makes me feel better because I was feeling very nervous
Yeah.
for Sweet Mike. I was like, oh my God, what are they going to do?
I want him to have a great character arc.
Yeah.
I think he's actually gonna go home like top. Like I think he's gonna make like top 8 or something.
I could see
and
that
I think he's gonna
before,
go home.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't think he's gonna
he'll
get too
get to
serious.
fantasy suites or anything. I would love him too, just because I like Mike.
Yeah, I do
he's
too.
like in my personal top. Like I'm like, I want to be your homie, man.
Yeah.
like, I'll go to your church. Let me see what your pastor's talking about, bro. But I don't think he's going to last that long.
I don't think so either.
I'm curious if later on in the season, just because of the conversations Katie started having about like what family life could potentially look like for her, if there's going to be a divide where they realize they just don't align. You know, if he gets sent home on like something like a 101 where it's like, yeah, I don't know if I want kids as soon as I get married, or, I don't know if I want the traditional family structured life, and if that's something he really wants.
Yeah.
They might just not like align
I
like
also
that.
think they might not have chemistry. Like beyond the virginity thing, I think they might just be like, yeah, we're like just more of a friend vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He might go
that's
home in
fair.
a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
but like what you were
One-on-one, I
saying,
think that's a good call. I
Yeah.
think he'll go home
yeah,
alone.
I could see
when
it.
you were saying too about the family, he did. I remember in the letter he did say like, what kind of mother would you be? And Katie's still, like she said, she's on the fence. She doesn't know if that's part of her path or no, if that's what she wants. So that, I feel like, in a one-on-one conversation, it might like be real, and her might be honest and be like, I don't know if I want a family.
Did you say that night one? I don't remember when that was said.
Yeah, she said it night one to Michael, actually, because Michael was like, do you think you want to have kids one day? Because he has his son.
Oh, okay.
And she was just like, honestly, like, I'm not
Honestly,
sure.
ew.
Yeah. And what I thought was cool about and we talked about this in our first recap, was essentially she was like, hey, it could be that somebody has a bunch of nieces and nephews and those are my kids. I was like, yeah, I could see the auntie-vibes like right there.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Or she was like, or maybe I want to, be with someone that already has a kid. And I just end up, in the step role. And that sounds cool to me too. Or maybe I end up with someone that doesn't want kids at all. And that's also cool. I was like, the demographic. I don't know if y'all trying to change our audience, ABC, but the Midwest is probably burning.
Yeah. Like what it was so cool to have. I think maybe the first Bachelorette I've ever seen vocally say, I don't know if I want to have children.
I liked that.
It was just,
and then
like,
she colored different scenarios.
Yeah.
Where like she was like, it could be there, it could not. And it's like, ooh, we're shaking. Yeah. Katie's shaking it up. All right. I don't know if y'all meant to have her shake the table, but she's doing it. So
that was an incredible moment.
Before we get into the next portion of the episode,
let's take one
quick
more
word from our sponsors.
Take one more quick pause. I'll be honest, broads. It doesn't take much for me to have a great day. A great day to me is really just a day that I can live life without feeling the effects of my anxiety or sleeplessness, which seems like it shouldn't be that difficult, right? I'm not asking the world here, but if you struggle with sleeplessness, anxiety, chronic pain, stress, then you know how debilitating it can be. I was on the hunt for a natural way to deal, and then I found Feels. Feels Premium CBD is the natural way to feel your best every day.
Okay, and I get a lot of DMs from people who think that trying CBD is intimidating, and I get it, and Feels gets it too. With CBD, the key is to finding the right dose that works for you, finding a routine that works for you. And so that's why Feels actually has an entire free CBD hotline. So they're going to help you determine what's going to work for you, and they're going to guide your personal experience and your dosage. It makes all the difference. Then once you figured out what's going to work for you, you just place a few drops of Feels under your tongue just when you need it, and within minutes you're going to start to feel the difference.
Feels has made such a difference in my life, both with my anxiety, with my sleeplessness, and then I decided to join the Feels monthly membership, so I always have some on hand when I need it. Feels is delivered hassle-free directly to your door. It's always just in time when I've run out, and with the membership, you're going to save money on each order too.
Start feeling better with Feels. Become a member today. Go to feels.com/chatty. That's Feels with an A, so it's spelled feals.com/chatty. You're going to get 50% off your first order with free shipping. Become a member and you're going to automatically get 50% taken off your first order, free shipping. Feals.com/chatty, FEALS.
Oh, brats, I am so excited to talk about this next brand because I just got my box from them in the mail yesterday, and I swear I was like a child in a candy store. Of course, I am talking about FabFitFun. Feels so good to sing it again. The best subscription box on the market, hands down, no questions asked. There's a good chance you've heard us talk about FabFitFun before because they've been supporters of the show for honestly almost since the very beginning.
I think like since they were
I think like maybe they were the first sponsor ever.
Legit.
Thank you, FabFitFun. But this season is different, and it's better actually because FabFitFun is now 100% customizable.
This is legit so exciting. Okay, wait, back it up. If you don't know about FabFitFun, here's the deal. Like Jess said, they are the best, now 100% customizable subscription box out there. They deliver full-sized, specially curated seasonal beauty, wellness, and fashion products right to your door. And not just any products either. Some of the stuff is very coveted that you can't even find it in the stores. And plus you're going to be saving up to 70% off some of the items with early access to limited add-ons and sales if you're a member.
This season's box is all about fun in the sun, and it does not disappoint. I swear every single box I get, I end up finding a new thing that I absolutely cannot live without. In this box, no different. One of my favorite finds was the Summer Fridays CC Me Serum, which I've been a huge fan of this brand for forever, and I've never used that product, and I am now trying it, and it is so good. I'm wearing it right now.
Going.
I am now a forever fan. Thank you, FabFitFun.
Order your summer box today. Sign up now and you can snag amazing products like the Summer Fridays CC Me Serum or the L Space Tie-Dye Beach Towel when you customize your box. And don't forget to use coupon code Chatty. You're going to get $10 off your first box at www.fabfitfun.com. Plus, for a limited time only, annual members will receive an extra gift valued at $125. What? With purchase while supplies last. That's coupon code Chatty, $10 off your first box at www.fabfitfun.com.
Okay, before we dive into the Greg date, I do want to make one quick note. In the evening portion of the date, we see Karl and Katie interacting. And this was the first time that I wrote down, Karl asks Katie how long it's been since her last serious relationship. Katie says it's been 2 years. And Karl immediately goes, oh my God, same. And then Katie right away then says,
Why did it end?
How did it end? And he avoids the question by saying, I'm now concerned about this relationship.
I'm like, red flag.
Yeah,
I right away
wrote down red flag.
Yeah, I
deflection.
wrote down his last relationship wasn't 2 years ago. He's trying to use this. This is one of his motivational.
That's what you think?
Yes, I believe one of his motivational tips is like you kind of like you mirror people back.
Meisner, like William Esper Studio.
Exactly. And like I felt
like
he
we're
was
going to be on the same page. With this one.
I felt like he was having a moment where he legit, I mean, maybe his last
caught in a lie.
relationship was a year ago or 5 years ago, but he got caught in a lie because he had one of those moments where he's like, oh my God, crazy, same here. To have a moment of connection with her. And then she goes, why did it end? And he was like, doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought he just didn't want to. I thought he had one 2 years ago.
I thought there was some hot tea in there.
I was
that
getting,
he wasn't trying to pour out.
See, I was getting more of the him getting caught in a lie energy, which I continued to feel then later in the episode when she goes, so who are the guys? And he gets caught in a lie because he really doesn't know again. And he goes, we don't need to talk about that. Don't want to put that on
maybe
you.
Maybe he's a pathological liar.
There's something there. And when I say there's something there, I'm like, do I see my younger self in Karl now? Which is terrifying. Shout out growth. But I was just like, you don't have to try so hard to connect to someone, right? Mm-hmm. Or him like coming in like, I'm calling the shots, like, you know,
I've got this in the bag.
Like this is me, you know, and then coming in like, so how are you feeling? Like, how was your day? Nigga, you were with me the whole time. Yeah. It's like essentially what Katie says, minus the N-word. she was like, bro, we were together all day. Like
she's like, you tell me, you did the 18-minute speech. You let me know about your day. I had to listen to you for a long time.
We've been together all day. I hope the day was good for you because you got a lot of time on stage. Okay,
just like that false confidence, like fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like how to win friends and influence people. Like,
I don't like it. I feel like he's gonna write a book and it's going to be terrifying because a lot of people are going to buy it. A lot of people are going to read it. He's gonna have a podcast. All of a sudden, he's gonna be like, "This is how you get the girl," or I don't know.
I feel like he wants to be that guy and he never will be.
He gives me Hotep energy.
For him.
Yeah, like, I feel like after this episode,
Hotep. That is dang, I shouldn't have said that because that's a lot. A Hotep.
we can
a Hotep
back it up.
Is just imagine, you know, those folks. Okay, kings and queens. That's a thing that's super popular right now, colloquially.
Oh,
right?
sure.
The roots of it are in Hotep culture, right? Where it's like, my woman is my queen and she needs to, you know, she stays at home and she takes care of business at the house while I produce, you know, and I'm her king. And, you know, I ask the questions. I make the decisions. I got this. I call the shots. That kind of energy. But it's from an Afrocentric point of view. Hotep scare me. Where
does that word come from?
Girl, I don't even know. It's something. When did we start saying that? It's like a very...
Is that like a name or initial? Like, is that originally a name?
I wonder if it stands for something. And now I'm once again about to sacrifice my daggone black card. Because I'm like, oh, what does Hotep mean? It's like, no, I just know one when I see one and I run.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, I knew this word sound familiar, but it's something completely different when you look it up. It's an Egyptian word that translates to be satisfied or at peace. So it actually refers to an offering presented to a dead person. Like, in Egyptian culture.
Hoteps don't be satisfied or at peace.
You're like, that is not what I was referring to.
But that it definitely is rooted in Egyptian culture.
Yeah. Okay.
And so many people often forget that Egypt is in Africa.
Yeah.
Right. And so like folks will, at some point in time when like Black pride and Black nationalism became like a huge proponent of the liberation politic, Hoteps kind of just took it a little too far, like just jumped off a cliff, and they was like, y'all better come on with us or y'all not Black. That's
I think this is how it originated. So Hotep is like, means like peace, or I come in peace as a common greeting. So like the example in Urban Dictionary was like Hotep brothers and sisters, like welcome to today. So I think it comes from that term.
Rising, my kings
of the
and
initial
queens.
greeting. So someone who would say like Hotep, my kings and queens, and it's like then you are a Hotep. Got it.
Who would have thought Becca Martinez was going to educate me on the roots of Hotepery? Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. All I know is that's the energy that Karl gets, and that's why I'm like, he calls himself Case. I'm just like, oh, I have to be in a different room.
He's the kind of guy, if he's a dad too, if he's going to be like, I do not change the diapers. Like, that is disgusting. Why would I do that?
Why would I do that? The woman's supposed to do that is the vibe that he gives me.
Yeah.
And then also, what was his plan with the handcuffs?
I forgot about those. And I sure don't know.
He put his hand, and our boy Thomas came in and was like, it's my time now. And he was like,
And they were stuck.
all right, I'm going to go ahead and head
He was
out.
just like, does production have the keys to these? Or
Karl literally didn't even try to stop Thomas. He was just like, well, time to see myself out with the little furry handcuffs still tucked to his
Did you
arm.
take those from the group date? Like, did Heather McDonald not stop you and be like, hey, you can't take props from the set? Or what? Like, feel what I may about Heather McDonald, but she won't holding it down on the fort. Like, how to get those? It gave me the blindfold energy.
Oh.
From what was that, Tayshia's season?
Every season ever?
Just blindfold.
yeah, Tayshia's was literally
Matt's too.
Matt's did it. But oh my God, I forgot
Claire
about that.
didn't know. Claire and Tayshia got blindfolded.
It was
were you going to
every.
handcuff yourselves together and then have to go back out where she gives out the group rose?
Yeah.
Handcuffed to you? Like, what was the plan?
The plan was to lose the key.
You know,
Get
and
her
also,
locked
was
on.
that a part of the 18-minute motivational speech? And if so, where's the tapes?
Yeah.
He's probably like, trust. This is about trust. Like,
Rebuke.
that's probably.
yeah.
Rebuke.
Definitely a trust
I feel
exercise.
like a little bit of just like, I feel like pity. I was gonna say compassion, but it's more like pity. I feel like a pity for Karl. Like, I feel like he wants to be good. He wants to be motivational. He wants to improve people's lives, and he just needs a little bit of therapy and a mentor to come in and say, hey, you don't have to do so much, you know?
That's very generous of you, but I'm
over here just trying to like snatch back my empathy and be like, I have none to offer you, sir.
I feel like
but
Karl
that's
probably
fair.
got like kind of low-key bullied by guys like Justin like all through school, and Karl just wanted to be like Karl wanted to be the one that everyone liked, and he's never been the one that everyone's liked.
Yeah, why are you humanizing him?
your empathy is lovely, but I'm telling you, I would have been on board, and I still, of course, I feel a little bit, it's reality TV, but when he put Katie in that position and he made her, basically her day was already a mess because of feeling like men weren't there for the right reasons.
At the
and
end,
then this man comes around and like basically just like hammers it home and ruins her day and sends her into spiraling anxiety and happily walked away and goes, I don't want to ruin the rest of your day. That's when all my empathy, I was like, no.
That's fair.
That was then where I was like, this is a no. This is a hard pass for me.
Because I do remember writing down at some point, I was like, is this just a violent ass edit? Like, are they just really like not making this guy look good? And then he just watching that man lie to Katie's face after having a conversation with the guys. And I'm like, did a producer go over there and say, go start some shit with Kate? Like, what made you want to go lie and then lie on Katie to the dudes when he came back? I was like, I wanted to feel bad for you.
Yeah.
But you done fumbled the bag.
Yeah, and then exactly when he went back to the guys and was like, Katie asked me, it's like, no, you offered that
You offered
information.
that
He's definitely a pathological liar.
I was so confused. I was just like,
or a compulsive liar, not pathological. Compulsive liar is what I've been trying to say.
I was so, and it
compulsively lies.
He did
He can't
it
help himself,
compulsively the entire time on this feigned confidence.
Yeah.
Where he was like, I'm that dude. Like, I'm the one. He came in hot at the top of the episode saying, this is a game, it's a competition, and I'm about to knock them all out the way. Whoa, like, let's reel it in.
Yeah.
Relax, it's okay. But yeah, Karl with a K Smitty, baby. Find you a good therapist.
He needs a good therapist.
Yeah, just a real good one. I think it's, what is it? Therapy for Black girls. I'm sure they have a whole directory, and it's not just for Black women. Okay,
Is it on Instagram or the website?
It's on Instagram, and there's a website. Like, they got a whole thing. Go ahead, go to the directory, see who takes your insurance.
Find out who takes it. And honestly, Karl, like, you get the therapy. Maybe take a hot moment, pause in your motivational speaking.
Yeah, a little sabbatical.
Just a little sabbatical, just a minute to like take care of you, and then you can give your knowledge from your therapy to the rest
then
of
you
us.
can start your podcast. Then you can write your book.
Yeah, because right now it's gonna be a no. All right. Do you want to talk about your favorite person, Becca?
Real quick, actually, before Greg, just got to say real quick note on Thomas.
Oh, okay.
I'm confused about my feelings for Thomas. I hate him, I like him, and I don't trust him, and I trust him all at the same time, and I don't know how to feel.
I forgot about him until they had that moment on the group date.
And they had a moment.
Like a moment.
And
that's why I'm like,
I don't
wait a
even
second.
remember meeting you night one.
Yeah, and then even at the end of the episode, she pulled him aside and had like
He was killing it.
Yeah.
You guys, when they were making out, he was getting major thigh action.
And she got
in his lap. I was like, y'all know that theater song, and then you row way up the river, then you row. Oh, how y'all know that song? Okay, it's like vaudeville, very old, beyond golden age, like older than
Making
Oklahoma.
a lot of references, Mikayla, and I am trying to keep up.
So like the 1920s. But it's this song essentially where it's about like a boy and a girl getting in a boat and they're rowing up the river and things get a little frisky.
Oh, shit.
And it's like
Love
all
that.
of a sudden he's not rowing the boat anymore. That's how I felt about that moment with Katie. I was like, you are showboating your body into him. Like, what's going on?
yeah.
I was like, this is I'm hot, but also, who is this man?
Exactly how
Where
I
did
feel.
he come from? Y'all had a conversation? Did they not air it? I don't remember meeting the man.
I remember him night one
Fair.
and thinking he has very intense eye contact with her and thinking that like she seemed like I wrote down, I remember in night one notes, I'm like, she seems giddy around him immediately. So they have that kind of that chemistry that's just,
I remember him because he makes me feel like he's like the brother-in-law in like Everybody Loves Raymond is what his face looks like to me.
Sure.
It's his slicked hair. It's his facial structure. He's a little older. I'm like, yeah, you're like the brother. But he kind of looks to me like he's supposed to be like Ray Romano's cousin in some sort of show or something. And that's why I remember him.
Yeah, no, sure.
he's a very handsome man. And I feel the same exact way as you do, Becca. I don't quite know how I feel. I like him. I don't like him. I trust him. I don't trust him.
But apparently in the preview, everyone's confronting him. Was that an edit? Were they actually confronting him?
That's what I'm wondering, because it looks like they're confronting him about like, have you ever thought about being the Bachelor? And then they cut to him saying, you know what? That is a thought that crossed my mind. But I'm like, okay.
This is Franken-splitting.
Are we Franken-splitting? Is there context?
Yeah.
Or is this the conversation we're really about to have?
Or it could be a moment where Thomas is standing up over everyone and they're accusing another guy and he's saying to him, yeah, sure, I've had that thought, but I'm here for Katie. And then it's like some other guy that they're like coming after. Maybe Karl they're coming after.
That's fair. I don't think Karl's going to survive next week. If Karl survives next week.
What if it's Greg that they're confronting?
Oh my gosh. I hope so.
Well, it probably, I mean, he's going to get confronted at some point because he is so clearly the front runner that it's like he's going to end up.
Let's get into it.
Let's talk about Greg.
Gregory Evan Hansen. Hansen. I don't trust you. I give credit to Brett S. I never know how to pronounce his last name. Vergara?
Oh, I think so.
Because he said he reminded him
Vergara.
of Evan Hansen. And I was like, oh, I will call him Gregory Evan Hansen until the end of time. Like that. That is your name. It seems to line up with what your storyline is.
Yes. Gregory Evan Hansen.
Don't trust you, and I never will.
Thank you. So I posted last night and I was like, when they brought out that tent, Gray and I were like, here's the moment of fucking truth, bitch. Let's see him set up this tent. And I knew it. And immediately it's all flying there.
From wherever you are in New Jersey, like, and this is my thing. A tent, like, I'm a kid that didn't spend a ton of time outdoors, right? I grew up in the South, though. So, like, there was a point in time in my life, we liked to camp in the backyard.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the best present I ever got as a child was my first tent.
Yeah.
Right?
You have your friends sleep over. You stay up late. You got flashlights.
You got flashlights and stuff. And I remember, like, tent culture was so big in my family that my mom bought one of them 3-bedroom, 20-person tents with the zip rooms.
Those are
and they got
incredible.
lights built into them. We would bring it to the beach. Like, I'm sorry. You should be able to figure out how to, like, lay the thing out. Like, it's just, I was very upset because I was like, you could do it.
He did not know his way around the tent at all.
Everyone and
At all.
anyone
He
who
was
listens to this
unfamiliar.
podcast knows that I am the most non-outdoorsy human being in existence. I have set up a tent numerous
you can,
times.
too.
I can set up a tent.
in less than a few minutes.
Yeah, I was bewildered. I was
holes that you
befuddled.
put the poles into
Like,
and you pop it up.
You see the little hook, like the little fabric hooks on the thing, and it's like clearly something
Yeah,
goes in
I'm
there
like,
to hold it down.
Yeah, the
Greg-
man had no idea what he was doing.
Greg, you're an actor. You've seen movies. People set up tents. You watch people set up tents all the time
Come
in
on
movies.
now. Is he so used to improving an invisible tent that he couldn't figure it out?
He's just always improving setting up.
This makes me ask,
Okay.
how wealthy is his family?
I can't
Is
remember
this the
what
type
part of New
family?
Jersey.
I don't know, but is this the type of family where they were too good to buy their kids tents? Or forgive me, maybe he grew up in an apartment, didn't have a backyard,
Sure.
never had access to outdoors. It's going one way or the other. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
But I want to believe that his family is extremely wealthy and that they think they're too good for tents.
Maybe. I mean, the Esper Studio is not a cheap school. There's a reason I haven't like done additional study, you know, like I deferred my MFA and totally could have done a 2-year program. Didn't do it because I was broke, because I was poor, right? And he's out here talking about, I'm a marketing sales rep that just so happened to have, he obviously has not said that, which is why I don't trust him, because I don't like there's a not lie there.
Yeah, that's the nerve-wracking part about it. That's the thing. People were like, why? Because when we talked about that, we knew that, you know, he was an actor or that he went to acting school, and they're like, so? I'm like, I have no problem with someone who's on the show who went to acting school. What's strange to me is that that's not something that you're talking about. It's not in your bio at all, right? It's even in the
It really
lengthy
wasn't at
bio.
all?
No.
Shit.
So I'm kind of going,
And it's a really well-known school. Like, that's why I'm like, well-known school, very expensive. Training is noted in New York City. Like, I can think of a couple actors off the top of my head that studied at
That's like a big
Esper
deal.
Studio. Yeah. It's good to have on your resume. It's not like, you know, wow, you went to Yale. But it's like, it's a legitimate training school that people go to. And I'm like, you graduated in 2019, bro. Like, that's not
He did?
from that school, from that 2-year training program. Yeah. I was like, bro, I have friends
Oh,
who were in your
shit.
class.
yeah,
So
it's fresh.
Oh, that is recent.
I also maybe I'm completely making this up, so please forgive me. It might have been a dream, and that's how embarrassing my dreams are these days. But I feel like I saw something about how he had like the studio tagged or geo-tagged, and then he like went and untagged everything. There was
was
something like that
surprised.
where it was a little bit like I was seeing someone post about like, why would he like go out of his way to like take down this photo or like untag this that involved the acting portion of everything.
And this is my other thing, because obviously I too am an actor. But if I was going on a show like this with a well-known cast member who like is known for like wanting transparency, wanting people to be upfront, being straightforward themselves, or at least presenting themselves as such. Like, if that is the brand, then I'm coming in with authentic transparency.
Of course.
I'm about to give you the tea. Like, yeah, I'm a marketing sales rep, but also I'm an actor. You know?
Yeah, this isn't like a hobby he had back in 2008 where he, and then he's moved on. You're saying he finished in 2019?
2019. I'm pretty, because it's like, that's stuff that's listed on the website.
Yeah.
And so it's like, are you you went to the Esper studio for a little bit and
just for
you've
funs?
Done a couple auditions every now and then. That's not a school that, like, it's not UCB. You don't just go take a couple classes for fun. No, that's like going back to school. You're in class from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You got to take off of work. You got to have rehearsal, scene study, like all of that kind of stuff. And for that to not even come up in conversation, I was like, there's a choice here, especially knowing that he was potentially like a part of Claire's season initially and then got knocked down.
So this is an interesting point. He was on Claire's initial cast list.
So this man signed up for The Bachelor to be on it, a Bachelorette, a long time ago.
Yeah, and he was on the cast list and then he got cut.
It's not like he's coming for Katie. He's coming to be on The Bachelorette.
Sure.
Yeah, he's. That's why I keep saying the B team's B team.
Yeah.
Because we've had, 3 seasons? This is our 3rd season of The Bachelorette since he was originally cast.
Yeah.
And so that, I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with coming on to The Bachelor as an actor. There's nothing wrong with.
Of course not.
Girl, if anything, I don't know what this is going to do for your resume.
Yeah.
That's actually probably not
I don't
good.
know if it's definitely not about to get you an audition for Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe you'll get an agent for hosting. I'm not sure.
Right, because then after The Bachelor, they're like, but bro, if we're gonna cast you, this is what people are telling me. They're like, if we're gonna cast you, then you're gonna be recognizable from The Bachelor. Like, people aren't necessarily gonna want to cast you.
Yeah, it's like
you're a reality TV figure now. So exactly, do you want to go into hosting? Do you want to do more reality TV?
Yeah, I'm thinking of the girl Addison Rae from TikTok.
Yeah.
She's doing the reboot of He's All That. And it's like, no one's going to watch that reboot thinking of like Freddie Prinze Jr.'s He's All That.
No.
It's the TikTok version of He's All That. And it's called
Addison Rae.
And that's what happens with a lot of, and
nothing wrong with it.
I was about to say, not knocking it as a path at all, but it's very specific.
Yes.
It's super niche and there's a market for it. So like, if this is how he wants to go in, it's just now that I have that information, I feel like I can see it.
And also, here's my thing. If you're self-conscious about it enough to deliberately hide it, then that makes me feel like you have ulterior motives for going on the show that you don't want people to find out about.
Absolutely. And especially, I don't know, the style of acting that is focused on at the Esper studio is about learning a lot about human behavior and how to interact with it, how to, like Meisner, for example, an exercise would be if I was to say, I have a black cat. You would have to say, I have a black cat back. Now, as we continue to repeat
I'm scared.
As we continue to repeat it, we shift our inflections, we shift our meaning, we shift our weight on particular words, and you get different emotions out of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Right?
Stop.
And I remember it can get really testy if it's not being done properly or appropriately by acting. Like, I was traumatized by Meisner in school because they'd have us doing it my sophomore year. And it would be like, I don't know, your mother is dead.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the teacher's trying to get you to get an emotion out.
Yeah.
And eventually the emotion, you say it 72 times back and forth and someone's screaming, your mother is dead. I'm going to cry.
Right.
And then eventually it gets easier to access. And you can start working with how to empathize, how to observe, how to work with the human emotion. I love Meisner. Very cool technique. Very cool technique that I feel like I watched all episode yet like last night.
It's very interesting.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. It's interesting when you're talking about this technique, though, because that was the night one episode with him, which, by the way, it just, no shade to him. It just blows my mind how quickly people become obsessed with anybody.
So I was real close.
That just always is so shocking to me. Like, you see 5 minutes of someone on screen and people are like willing to battle in the comments for that person. It's like, you don't know this person at all. Like, why are you so adamant that you know, whatever. But in that first episode, the way he would like use inflections and like, and this kind of like trying to kind of play an awkward, it felt like that to us, which is I think why we locked in on that feeling right away. So then when I heard that he was enacting, I was like, okay, that makes sense to me, because it felt very like rom-com energy, you know, like, of course you're gonna fall in love with this guy.
And even watching his eyes, like, bro's eyes are not emoting. They're not. And you can see that on camera because the camera is right there and the camera does not lie. And that is, like, Meisner is a very specific theater skill that obviously can be used in film and television, but it doesn't read the same. And so I was listening to him. I was watching him listen to Katie talk about her father and his death. And I was like, I feel like you're not actually receiving this information. You're trying to figure out what to do with it, but you're trying to look like you're listening just enough. And it very well could have been, because by the end I was like, oh man, like this is really sad and stuff, but I saw him working for it. And so there was this both and of like distrusting him and then trying to figure out, like, are you using like this as a means to connect and relate with this person?
And yes, and that's natural, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
that's what human beings do.
Yes, because like if someone's talking about their loss, then I'm like, you know, it's natural to be like, and this is, oh my God, I've experienced the same thing, and like, let's connect.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
But like, when I posted last night about like him with the tent thing, and people were just like, just wait, you're gonna take this back in 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, but no, because like, yeah, I'm really sad that like that he had to experience. I'm really sad that he had to experience this loss.
Yeah.
It's great that they can connect. But I am so over the Bachelor narrative of like, I am supposed to give someone more props as a human or like with their character or whatever, because, and that's not to invalidate his experience, because I've never lost a parent. I haven't lost a parent. And I think that that's great that he can have the vulnerability to talk about it and cry about it and connect about it. But I'm still like, yeah, I don't trust you.
And it's just because your father has passed and you guys have connected in this way. And it's not because I feel like he was using his dad's death as like a tool to like relate.
Yeah.
No, it was because I feel like I'm watching you pretend to play awkward.
That's kind of where I fell when I was watching this episode. Now, obviously listening to you talk about like these different acting techniques, it's having me like, I'm thinking now about like different perspectives.
This could very well be a conspiracy theory. Like,
right.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
No, but I'm saying now it's like I'm processing that. In the moment when I was watching it, what I was feeling was like when then Katie shared about her dad, which by the way was like it was really intense. Yeah. And that was like, it was so nice to like see a different like new part of Katie. And I loved how she didn't try to like cover it up and was just like talking through it and kind of working through it. You can tell again that this woman has gone through lots of therapy and we love to see it. Yes. She's really knows how to like move forward with her like different feelings and emotions and all that. But with Greg, at first when she shared the way he was reacting, I remember having heard somewhere that he had also lost his father. So I knew when I was watching it that like he wasn't just kind of like shutting down, because some people were like, why is he acting like he's like kind of shutting down when she's sharing
you and
this?
I both knew that his father had passed.
Yeah, so I knew that his father had passed away. So I was like, in the moment, I was actually like, I felt impressed that I was like, okay, I feel like he's giving her space to share her experience and her trauma and not being like, me too. Like letting her have this moment, because it was like my father and I used to do this together, and like, and then waiting until the evening to share.
I think producers told him to do that.
You think so?
Like, just
dude,
wait.
producers tell you to do that. Producers are like, wait, let's have the big conversation at dinner. Let's wait until the evening. Let's wait. Let's just
because when I was watching it, I was thinking, I'm like, I feel like I liked that because I was thinking if I was in Katie's shoes to be able to like have a space where like I shared what my story, and then if then someone would tell me what happened to them and they had experienced a similar tragedy even in more recent years, that I would feel very like, oh, and you gave me space to just like be me and just share my experience, even though you recently had this. Like, that's how I was then thinking. But yeah, no, you're right with the producer part. But
and maybe he did wait. I mean,
I don't know. He's one of those guys that's like, I stand firm saying that I have major suspicions and I can't shake a feeling that I have. I feel for him so deeply. The fact that it was so recent with his dad.
Yeah.
And I totally get why Katie is falling hard and fast for him. It's like they have this shared connection. He seems very easy to talk to. It feels like the guy that she's cut out for a second, immediately comfortable with. I totally get it. And I really hope that my suspicions and like weird gut feeling about him that I feel are wrong, and they very well could be. I don't know this man, but I can't shake my feeling. I don't know. And I can't quite put a finger on it. It's just kind of this natural response.
Ari, who was on our podcast a few weeks ago talking about alcoholism and sobriety and all that kind of thing, Ari talked about on her story last night, her dad had passed away, and she was like, I've been with guys who used that exact loss as a way, or like we connected over that, I should say, like we sort of trauma bonded over that shared experience. And those men used, like, one of my worst relationships, I'm paraphrasing, was someone who like, we bonded over that, but this person manipulated me and then also used that as an excuse to not commit to me and like really, really hurt me. Yeah. And she was like, so as someone who's lost my dad, I can say that people fucking use that to manipulate people. And she was like, I get that vibe from Greg.
Dang.
Yeah.
So
dang, that's heisty.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's one of those things where it's like you said, it's like you have the moment where you're like, him being willing to share that, Katie being willing to share it. And I'm sure last night was a really impactful moment for a lot of people who have lost like loved ones, and especially parents, to be able to like see them talk about that on TV and even have that moment where she, you know, is used to doing these like outdoor experiences with her dad and like kind of like pushing through and like having this moment where she didn't break down for the first time, and like that for her was really that was a powerful moment. But again, like you said,
I really liked I liked the portion with Katie a lot,
especially because what I really loved was, you know, and it's something that I've been working on in therapy, is understanding that like grief and trauma and loss specifically, it's not something that you get over, right?
No, yeah.
It's a constant motion of processing, and you start moving through it. And she said that on air last night, and I was really liked that. I was like, thank you for saying that, because I've been really struggling to explain to my friends, you know, why I have not gotten over the loss of my first child. Like, girl, it's not something you heal from. I don't think I'll ever heal from it, but I will continue to work through that grief, right? And she was able to do that in real time, and it not be like this whole, like, I don't know. I felt very seen there, and I feel like a lot of people got that opportunity with the way she framed it, because she was just transparent about it.
Totally.
And I don't think she was using it for a moment or anything, even if the producers were like, yo, like, let's have a date where, you know, you're doing the thing that
and
you used to do.
And obviously they know his dad has died.
Exactly.
So they know that she's going to do something that reminds her of her dad.
Which is, by the way, why I think they brought him back for Katie's season, because they had him for Claire's season originally, whose father had died fairly recently, and then they had that together, and then he got brought back for Katie's season, and I'm wondering if it's because they thought that they would have that they could share.
It's right there,
absolutely,
y'all. It's right there,
and then the producers are like, dad, let's do it.
There's so much both and in this,
so much both and.
And when we get to the part of the season where he's doing his like whatever they had in the previews, where he's like, "Can I leave now? I'm ready to go," and gets up. I look forward to seeing what that's about, because I think there's just stuff that's going to come out.
Yeah, Yes.
Agreed.
And it's going to be
And
like,
there's whispering on the internet about him.
oh, really?
Oh, there's a lot of
I don't be paying
whispering.
attention. All I know is as soon as I found out he went to the Esper studio, I was like, all right.
No, again, Becca and I have made a firm decision, post all the reality Steve bullshit that, we won't share things. But like, yeah, of course.
Let's just say there's not nothing
There's
like
not
floating
nothing
around
on
about.
No, there are things.
My other thing is like I had to stop engaging with reality Steve a while back, and then all of that stuff popped off, and I was like, girl, I don't put them in our DMs and watch them not be read.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. It's like at the end of the day, like, we receive a DM and appreciate people reaching out to us, but
Give us the tea.
But
I might not engage with
they're
it.
not vetted. So it's like,
Yeah.
we're not going to put that information out there when it's
Yeah.
like, I literally don't have every single, So
Like Meisner is a real thing, y'all. I'm not making it up. The Esper Studio is a real school in New York City.
Like, the fact of the matter is, like, we've received like receipts, but it's like that's not what we're out here to do, because
sure.
it's like,
You can't say that. You can't say we've received receipts.
No,
that
I'm
are
not talking about Greg. I'm talking about like in
don't say
general.
that. Oh yeah.
No, I'm talking about like over
Yeah.
the past few years, there have been times when like you receive receipts, but it's like to even make sure that those are accurate. It's like, I'm not even going to touch that. I'll just tell you, like, if there's other things that have been like,
Whisperings in the woods.
And this is the
Yeah.
thing. There's some people that you never hear anything on.
Yeah,
true.
that's fair.
And my point is that then there are some people where you see more than a handful
Yes.
of things on, and then you're like,
There are plenty of people
Okay.
who are huge on the show
Yeah.
who you never hear
you don't
anything
hear shit about,
about.
or you're just like, oh, they were kind of annoying in college, but
Yeah,
whatever. And
there's
then
nothing that's
and then
like-
there's some people where it's like, okay,
Yeah, you
okay,
do a little.
noted.
You just
Noted.
and you just put
Noted.
it. You just put a little bit in your brain, like as you're watching it, you process
You're like,
through it. But it's
uh-huh.
like that's it.
Yeah.
Also, I think that our fire against Greg also probably has to do with the fact that people are simping so hard for Greg.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly.
That's why I feel very like,
see, and that doesn't affect me at all. I'm just so. Because I figured as soon as I saw him night one, I'm like, oh, the people, because they made him so romantic and whatever. I'm like, the people are gonna love him. We aren't, and we're gonna get so much shit for it. But I'm just always so blown away by how people simp so quickly for someone. I'm like, you don't know anything
you've
about
seen 7
him.
minutes total
I'm like, I
screen time.
totally
Yes.
get being like simping in the sense of like, you are so
Cute.
hot,
Right.
But when it's like he's a good person, you're like, well, you
Girl,
don't
what?
know
Do
the
you
person
follow
at
him
all.
on Instagram? Like, do you really like?
Yeah, it's like, and do you follow him
y'all
on?
met?
Yeah, it's like that's my thing. I'm like,
Y'all
you,
went to school
you
together?
follow someone on Instagram, you don't know who they are. Like,
Then
come
again, I
on.
guess
They
I'm
must
doing the
have
same
had
thing.
coffee and
then again, I
stuff.
guess I'm doing the same thing the opposite though, where I'm like,
True.
he's a bad person.
That is also
It's a
fair.
vibe.
It's
Yes.
also true. It's
And
also true.
I'm over here like, I feel like I dated Greg in theater school, and it's why I won't date another actor. Boom.
That, and that's
Like-
what I told her, I think off mic, and that's maybe why I'm having strong feelings.
I'm
I
seeing things.
dated Greg when I did like my little college theater. There was literally a specific guy that I'm like, it's Greg.
He
and so
reminds
it's hard
me,
for me not to.
And he was really good. He was talented. He was always ready to rehearse late, and I'm just like, no, something seems a little too familiar about you, and it's gotta go.
Well, and yes, and also
gotta
like
go.
we talked about it, I think last week, he gives off that kind of vibe where everyone's like, oh my God, he's such a good guy. And then you date him and you're like, you ruined my life.
It was like, bro, what did you just say to me?
You wrecked me emotionally and led me on for 7 months. I'll say that. And I'll say that again of like, I told you I wasn't ready for something serious. After you introduced me to your parents.
And then suddenly we're in a
let me-
situationship for like 2 years.
We adopted a dog together, and you're saying that you were never looking for something serious?
I done had dinner with your grandma, and you out here talking about you don't date a black girl. What? Huh? We've been hooking up for 2 years. You don't like talking.
Yeah. Oh God.
So Greg,
This is too familiar.
I don't know. It's
Prove
just,
yourself guilty till proven innocent. In my book.
Yeah, I will start I don't know. I'm not starting a campaign against you, dog. But I
Hashtag.
will continue to call you Gregory Evan Hansen. That's not going away. I'm so sorry about
Not
it.
going away. All right, let's Greg, we'll see.
We'll wish
With
you the
peace
best.
and love.
We wish you the best,
Prove me
and
wrong.
we'll see. We
Yeah.
shall see. Now, then
Prove
we
me wrong.
have the second group date.
Cowboy brawl.
Cowboy Brawl. I do want to say I love a waking up everyone with a cowbell moment, them running in. It's been a while since we've had one of those where people are woken up from their sleep, and I love that I missed it.
Tasha and Caitlin, like, I don't know if they're listening to this podcast, but y'all know y'all fine.
Oh, yeah.
I know those boys were like, oh no.
Oh no, they're like they're like I was
Because they came in looking good.
and the boys are just like I was just dreaming about you.
So that's what the chatty bros brought up, which I thought was fair. They were like, here's the thing about the beautiful lady host. You got two other beautiful ladies hosting
Yes.
alongside you.
And I will say, I'm almost absolutely positive the jumpsuit that Caitlin is wearing is something I wear in the movie that comes out.
Oh, for real?
I'm almost absolutely positive.
You're gonna have to do it
If
side
it's
by
not-
side.
If it's not like something that's just really similar, but I saw that outfit and I was like, I wore that. I'm there. I'm on set. I'm there right now. They're waking me up. But
gonna
I
do
just
it side
love
by
looking
side.
them. I just love looking at them.
I know they're just both so pretty.
It's like, thank you.
And they look so cute in their boots, sneaking around. And so then they wake the men up, and the men are mostly all in their undies. And I want to have my trophy of this episode goes to John. I am obsessed with John. This man gets woken up. He is shivering in his he's walking around with a blanket. All the other guys are just like going around in their boxers, and John is just shivering, and he's just like, this is shocking.
I've never been woken up this aggressively in my entire life.
Exactly. He's so cute. And then even when he does the mud wrestling, he like just gives it everything, and he's like, I just hope to last 10 seconds. And then later on when he's standing up against Karl, I love John. He
Yes.
is a sweet, sweet boy. He's adorable. But then so the men are all in their undies.
So yeah, for the people who haven't watched, they go mud wrestling.
Yes.
And I thought it was cute, thought it was hot.
Very hot.
Liked the mud wrestling. Of course, they pit Cody and Aaron against each other.
That seemed like the dumbest decision.
Jess was
Can
right,
I have
right,
a moment?
right.
Can I have a
Please.
moment? Okay, I felt very validated because when the people were very confused, I said, these men are both from San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
San Diego is a small place. If they're in the party scene, they know each other.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I was still
100%.
confused about what the fuck happened. That was never made clear.
There's no context. They've provided us nothing.
What is happening?
Do they even have mutual friends? Like, what happened?
See,
Because even when Aaron ended up talking to Kate, like, bro, like, they have that, what is it? Flight, fight, freeze, fawn. There's another one now. All I know is I was like, are you freezing right now? Like, or do you actually not have anything against him? Maybe y'all just don't like each other. Like, what's...
Aaron? You're talking about Aaron?
Yeah, I couldn't-
Aaron seemed very...
He seemed so adamant about, like, I don't like you, bro, and it's not my fault I don't like you. And then he was like, I have reasons not to like you. And I was just like, wait, what are the reasons?
And then Cody's, I was just so weirded out by, like, first of all, when...
Cody's lack of defense of himself.
Oh, well, so then when Katie pulled aside Aaron, I started to, did Aaron in the first episode come in hot for Cody, and did I have feelings about it? Sure. But in this episode, I had to say, I texted Becca, I'm like, I'm starting to fall for Aaron a little bit because
Me too.
Katie sat him down, and he did not, you could tell he was not wanting to talk about
I
Cody.
think that's why he
Yes.
was freezing and
That's
shaking
what I
and
was
doing all that.
wondering.
I think
'cause
so.
I was like, it seems like you don't. And he says it later in the episode. He was like, I've never just talked to, a woman about another man before.
Yeah.
And I was like, it seems like he genuinely wanted to bring this information to her attention, to be like, I want you to be aware of this. I know this dude, and he might not be it, Chief.
And I didn't feel either, like when she said, tell me what's going on, I felt like he was very brief.
Yeah.
He did not talk. Like he said, I don't think this guy's a piece of shit. I'm not saying he's a massive piece of shit, but I have a problem with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was very much respected the way that Aaron handled it. I felt like you could tell he could have taken that moment to heap on Cody. The lead is pulling me aside and asking me so I can even have the defense of, like, when they say, hey, why'd you say that? They'd be like, Katie asked me, and genuinely say Katie asked me. And yet he left it very brief.
But I think that's because the situation was really convoluted. I think the situation, he said something about response on social media, and I think it's one of those things I think it was a situation where it was like, bro, so my ex-girlfriend who I dated back in like 2012, her boyfriend, Cody, is his brother. And like one time Cody went out with my roommate's sister.
Probably.
And I think it was like, I think it's one of those situations where it's like all, like he handled the situation badly, but I think it's so convoluted. I don't think Aaron could have even explained it to Katie if he tried. Like, I think it was one of those.
That's what I was wondering too. But then Cody came to Aaron and was like, why didn't you just keep your mouth shut? I was like, whoa.
Well, when Cody said to Aaron, and this is when I started to get so confused, their energy then with each other was so not aggressive. And they were so like, hey guy, why'd you do that? And then Cody was like, if you wouldn't have opened your mouth, people wouldn't have even known we knew each other. I'm like, that would have been weird if you guys know each other and then act like you don't know each other.
So then now I'm like, what? Were you on your Instagram story like, yo, just a couple weeks, I'm about to be out in these streets. Y'all gonna see me on TV. We about to go big time. Like, is that what like you saw, or were you out in the club like, hey, we about to be on the Bachelorette? Yeah. You know, like. Is this what Aaron saw and was just like, I'm bristling against you and I'm also not about to fake the funk like I've never met you before? Why would you expect me to do that?
I have a feeling in my gut that it's literally just Aaron knows Cody from like the scene. Again, it's like the party scene in San Diego is small. There's only a few clubs. You see the same people over and over again.
Okay.
That he just doesn't fucking like Cody. Maybe Cody gets into a fight occasionally. I know they've
But he says something about social media.
Well, I see. This is what my thought with social media. You know, people start to post about like people's political leanings and stuff. And I guess Cody is very red.
Oh,
So perhaps there's things that were posted politically. Maybe Aaron knows Katie is very blue, and it's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe there was issues in that way. I don't know. I feel like the reason he couldn't give her, or maybe even didn't give her specifics, it's because, you know, when you just know somebody and you're like, I think they're a bad person.
Yeah.
I've seen them enough around town.
I'm on his social media right now.
It's like, I've seen him enough around town. I've seen him interact with maybe some girls that I know that I'm friends with. I've seen him partying. I've seen all these things, and I don't know what to tell you, but I think he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of the energy that I got from maybe it's like Aaron just does not like him.
And I was also wondering if Aaron just didn't want to like just outwardly be like, okay, I'm about to rag on this dude. Like, I'm not about to talk shit about him.
Yes.
But I'm just going to let you know something's amiss.
Something's amiss.
In the water.
Something is in the water.
Okay,
What?
so this is really weird. Worlds colliding. I'm going on his Instagram and I'm seeing a guy commenting under it who I hooked up with in Costa Rica.
Whoa.
Weird.
Very weird.
But
On
not that
Cody's
weird
or
because
Aaron's?
not that weird because it looks like Cody is one of those guys that's into sort of like he doesn't actually go to Burning Man, but he goes to like all the burner parties that are like in Santa Barbara and San Diego.
okay.
So I think that they probably are in that very particular scene where they go to like certain kind of like EDM desert shows kind of thing. And then maybe Cody was like DMing a friend of Aaron's or something, being like, oh, well, like my shit's about to blow up like after the Bachelorette or like something like that.
Something like
I don't know.
I think it's a little convoluted though.
I think it's
it
convoluted.
has to be convoluted.
Yeah. And but point of the whole thing is that the thing that I took away from it that I lived for is that our Bachelorette follows her gut. And I think she's got good intuition. We're seeing her now process it with Karl. The fact that she didn't right away just hear Karl out later in the episode and go, I think you're right, and then fully just fully believe him. The fact that she kept saying like, but Karl, and she's like, I'm trying to follow my gut here.
Yeah.
She felt in her gut that there was something off about Cody, and she just goes, bye. I don't see myself with you
Cody
anyways.
didn't have any defense.
No, he did not.
And that's what confused me.
Yeah.
It made me feel, I can't remember that video where it's like, when she was like, so like, you know, you and Aaron know each other, and he said this, that, and the fourth. He was like, what are you talking about? Like, I felt that, you know, I've never met her. I've never heard of that. I've never seen this. I don't know of what you're speaking of. Or that gif of the white guy with the coiffed blonde hair, where he like blinks and is just like, what's up? What?
Yeah, totally.
What? Like, he seemed so thrown off, and then was just like, nope, I don't know him. And I was like, wait. no, that's the wrong response.
Yes.
I'm yelling, but I was like, no, you've done the wrong answer, sir. Just be like, I don't understand why he has a problem with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know each other. Like, his lack of defense and then also his attempt to deny initially was very strange.
I saw fear in his eyes, and so to me, I go, you know what? I feel like I trust Aaron more in this situation, even if it was just personal distaste.
Oh, no. I agree. I trust
I'm
him.
with Aaron.
Yeah.
And
no, I am too.
And then I was texting Becca this later on in the evening when then Katie pulls aside Aaron, and Aaron's so concerned, like, oh, now are you thinking that there's something wrong with me?
Yeah.
And then Katie's like, I trust you. Tell me what's going on. I think we saw another moment again where I go, okay, I think I trust Aaron, because Aaron could have used that as an opportunity to be like, I haven't heard anything, but like, I'm sure there's a guy or two that he's not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
And been like, the lead fully trusts me right now and is asking me. And he went hard going, I have no idea what you're talking about. They're good guys. And then when he came back in with Karl and was just like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, what are you thinking?
What are you doing?
I was like,
I took care of the problem for us all.
yeah. He's like, Cody was the one, and now he's gone. Now we're all good.
You fool.
Now, Karl came in hot with the vagueness. Karl, when he came to talk about...
I've never met a liar lie like that.
He's so bad at it. You never met a compulsive liar so bad about what they do.
He was like, well, yeah, I mean, she was like, can you give me some examples? Nah, I mean, I don't want to ruin your night. Bro, you done already started. You done put the car in the key in the ignition.
I could
Your foot is on
not
the gas.
believe it.
Could you press down, please?
Now, what I could not understand, though, is after that, now I understand that she's sleep deprived and nervous about what just happened with Cody and all that, but I could not understand how after that,
It was just broken.
watered down shit.
I don't know.
with Karl, that then she was like, who the fuck is here for the wrong reasons? Like,
She
I was
was
kind of
not
like,
pleased.
I was kind of like, wait.
I
But
was like,
he
did
just
someone
came in.
tell her to turn it up back there? Because, I mean, she's giving us a show.
I mean, I loved it.
I don't know if it was a sleep deprivation, but I was just like, how are you going to come in so convinced after this guy gave the most mealy-mouthed, like, well, who's someone in the
I was
out there?
like,
and
Noah
the
did a better job from
Oh,
last.
yeah, oh,
like,
1000%. Noah brought it.
Like, brought it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
he
still
did.
didn't know what he was talking about in Karl. And I'm over here like, Katie, wait, like, didn't you just say you're not sure if you even trust what he's saying? And he like verbally was like, yeah, no, I don't want to give you like he's lying.
It was
So I was
so
confused as to
wild.
why she came in so hot. I was just like,
Yeah.
are you really taking his word?
It
for
must
that?
have.
I'm wondering if they pulled her aside to a different room and they were like,
Hyper in the
"Bro,
interview."
Let's like, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
We have to. You've seen.
We have to
you
get to the
saw
bottom of this.
You
Flush
saw
out
this
the
happen to
guys.
Matt. It's not about to happen to you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and so
They must have hyped her up so hard.
Something.
Now, my favorite part of the entire episode, truly, were the men's reactions
Their
to
faces,
her.
watching
Because
every one of their
they
faces.
were so shocked. Hunter was like about to cry. Hunter was like, Hunter like
I
one
wrote
of the
you a
most
letter.
one of the
Like-
most precious. Yeah, he's just like, what? Who, by the way, I think we're gonna see a lot more of Hunter, because I was noticing they were having a lot of ITMs with him, even though he wasn't part of what was going on. They would randomly cut to Hunter.
His
a
letter was
lot.
like on a Trader Joe's bag. It was like
I was wondering Trader Joe's bag, and like I was like, this is
Sustainable.
cardboard
It's
paper.
recycling.
I was like, you know how you can get that cardboard like construction
Yeah.
paper at
Craft
Michael's
paper,
craft
yeah.
paper and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, they just got that on set. Like they just got that
is
on
that
hand?
a piece of bark? It's all just like about to break in half.
But then all the guys are like so shook. Aaron's like, what? And
Aaron,
then,
when she pulls him aside.
oh, he's about to pass out.
He was like, wait,
And then,
oh
but
my
Michael,
god.
Dad Michael, awkward Michael is just like, yes. He's just nodding with her. He's like, yes, get rid of them. Get rid of the moles in this.
I'm ready to go to sleep because I have to wake up early to FaceTime my son tomorrow. So
yeah, he's like, I have a son, right reasons.
He's like, listen, you guys, all of you motherfuckers who didn't give me a date after I tell you night one that I have a son and that I'm here and time matters. I'm the one who doesn't get a date, the guy with the kid at home.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, get them all out.
Meanwhile,
Flush them
Andrew
out,
S
Katie.
is looking around like, what is going on? Like,
Oh.
I thought he was about to start talking in his fake accent again. He was so confused. I
And
was like,
sweet Andrew S, by the way.
Love him.
When she had the moment after she sent Cody home and Andrew came in and he's just like a teddy
Yeah.
bear. And when that was another powerful moment when they talked about how both of their parents, when they were having a tough time financially, both of them, they're like, we never would have known we were struggling financially because our parents always like had a smile.
Always gave us the world.
And they gave us everything we ever needed. And I was literally just like,
I was over there. I was like, I used to think me and my family was rich because I used to get all the bread stalls I wanted. I would have never known that my mama needed me to get a free lunch, you know? Like, I thought she was making me lunch because she loved me.
Yeah.
You know? Or like, and that's what I thought, because I'm really interested in Andrew S.'s story because he's from the south side of Chicago. I believe it was him in the intro package that was saying goodbye to his grandmother. And she was like, I never say goodbye. I say God bless you. I was like, my grandmother who lives in Chicago says, I never say goodbye. I say see you later. And it's just that I need more time with Andrew S.
Yeah.
Him coming in and like being like, I just wanted to be the first person to like make sure
he's a little bit like, I really like him. It's just what we've talked about before. He's a little like, and I can't think of a better word, unfortunately, but comes off a little immature to me.
Yeah, I think he's
like
young.
How we talk. Yes.
He
sounds and looks like he's in high school.
Yes,
he has youthfulness in his eyes, and I don't know if that then will result in him and Katie working out, but I am very like drawn to his youthfulness. Like there's something so innocent. Like there's very like an innocence about.
And I'm curious if there is a different side to that, to his youth. Because like I'm like, bro, you grew up if you grew up south side of Chicago, like there's a different color to the life that you've lived. Just as someone who has family from there. Because you know you don't just go to the south side of Chicago. You don't. But I mean, for someone who grew up probably with very little, to have like such perspective and then have lived such a worldly life where he lives half of the year in Vienna and like the other half here, I'm like, I wonder if there is this youthful spirit and essence to him, but there's this other side where he's like, no, I've seen some stuff or I've experienced some things. I just don't let it color how I, engage with the world. No, I like
that. There's just a little bit of immaturity to him where he's like a little bit too much in the group settings.
I agree, yeah.
And a little bit, and actually I need to work on, I'm an interrupting queen, but I noticed that with him and Katie, he like, when they're in the beginning of the conversation, he like cut her off and started talking about his life.
He gets
and I was
very
like,
excited.
Yes.
And he's so hype. And I'm like, whoa.
And I get that. And I just think, I'm like, you might not be ready for like the level of relationship that maybe like Katie's looking for.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. Because
he's, what is he, 24? Is he 24 or is he like 26 or something? I was like, I don't even know if I could be in a relationship with you. And it's either we are the same age or maybe just a couple years off of one another.
Do you know what I'm saying though? Like he definitely is like I don't know if he's ever been in a serious relationship before. Like he's very sort of naive in a very sweet way.
Yes, I agree.
It wouldn't surprise me if when they have their one-on-one, he tells her that he's never been in like a long-term relationship because he does have that like that
nomad lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Out here playing. When he got in that mud wrestling pit, I was like, he about to body you.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I felt so bad. And as someone who's fantastic at mud wrestling, aka I've done it once, and I bodied that girl, and I was like 90 pounds of fierceness. But as someone who was like, yo, like, you could probably humble me. Andrew didn't even look like he wanted to try. And then just laid them out on their back. And I was like, dang,
Yeah. I am worried for him that in paradise, he might accidentally fuck his shit up with, like, a couple different girls and, like, getting his, like, romantic wires crossed a little bit.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it. Where
like,
he's
because
like,
he gets so excited that like maybe he'll have a few connections and then it'll be
just
like
and he might have been. I think unfortunately, like it could be. I could just see it happening where he was like DMing a girl and then he was hanging out with another one and then he's like,
and
no, but I didn't.
Means no harm by it.
But he could come off looking real bad.
Yeah. I can see that.
It's the unintentional.
It's the kind of Blake like. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, you were texting, like, then talking to 3 different girls
like,
at once, telling them all the same thing. And they're comparing the notes now, seeing how you said the same thing.
God.
And I'm going to feel so bad because I'm going to want to be on Andrew S's side.
I know, and I probably will be like, I can't help it. I love him so much.
I don't know. I can just see that for him.
For sure. And the other thing I wanted to say was shout out to Katie for not ending the night when she sent Cody home.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, Katie has been through enough of these nighttime group dates where all of a sudden the night's over because somebody came in, interrupted, and was like, "It's my time now."
She said, "Give me some time alone," and then she came back and she took time with all of them, and that must have been a late, exhausting night.
That was, I know, a tiring night, but
so
I was
maybe
like,
that's why she snapped the next day at the rose ceremony a little bit. She's like, "I've been up since like
I think
4
she
in the
was
morning,
very sleep deprived,
and I'm exhausted, and now I've got fucking Karl coming in and being ambiguous with me about apparently one of you guys or multiple of you guys are here for the wrong reasons." But anywho, the tease for the next episode, it looks like next week's episode is going to be a banger. It looks like it's going to be a lot of intense tea.
All of the information.
All of the info. Mikayla, thank you so much for joining us. You're the best. Can you please plug away? Let the people know. We'll include it in the episode notes where they can find everything.
Yeah, I mean, I am at Carpang DM on Instagram. I'm kind of, I made my page private because folks were getting crazy in my DMs. But you can request me and maybe I'll be like, oh, y'all follow the bad mom and at Becca, so you're safe. You can come into the club. At the Blckchelorettes on Instagram and the Blckchelorettes with Vic and Mai on Patreon. It's spelled @ TheBlckCheleo. How do you spell Rets? RETTES?
Yes.
Y'all will get it.
Like I said, it'll be in the
Black
episode.
without the A or C, right?
Black without the A, but it's BLCK.
Oh, it is CK.
Then,
okay.
Yeah. And then it's Chelorettes. Like, it's, I swear I practiced in the shower because I was like, I got to get this right for the plug. I also thanks. I also work with the Broadway Advocacy Coalition. We do a lot of work supporting those dealing with issues from mass incarceration to education inequity to racism on Broadway, as well as I will be in a movie this coming fall called King Richard about the Williams family, and I play one of the Williams sisters, not Serena Ravenous. So don't get too hyped.
It's so exciting.
But go watch the movie. Make sure you watch it in theaters and also stream it on HBO Max, like both and. Maybe it'll be safer for us to be in theaters.
Multiple times.
Because I am so poor.
Get those royalties.
Just let me get like a $4 residual check. $4. That's all I'm asking. I would like more than that, but you know what I mean. But thank you for having me.
We love you. Thank you so much. And broads, we'll chat soon.
Chat soon.